Hello children, welcome back to my channel CBSE Geography Made Simple. Today, let's study the 4th chapter of Geography of class 9th of CBSE curriculum, Climate. I have tried to explain the chapter with the help of maps, pictures and examples. Check out the description box below to find the complete notes of the chapter. Also, those of you who are visiting for the first time, please do not forget to check out my previous videos. Also, this is a new channel. If you like my videos and want me to continue making more such videos, please do support my channel. So let's begin. We will start the chapter Climate with a brief synopsis of the chapter. By the end of the chapter, we will have understood the concept and definition of few basic terms related to the climate chapter, which are weather, climate and season. Second aspect that we will be studying about are the factors, the climatic controlling factors, which control the climate of a particular place. Next, we will be studying, in the third part, we will be studying about the factors which affect India's climate. There are various factors like latitude, altitude, pressure, wind system, etc. Next, after that, we will be in the fourth part of the chapter, we will be studying about the Indian monsoon. Under this head, we will be doing about the factors which affect and cause the monsoons in India, onset and withdrawal pattern of monsoons in India, distribution of rainfall, monsoon rainfall across India, and why it is called that monsoon is a unifying factor for India. So let's begin with the understanding of the concept of weather, climate and season. Children, I am taking help of my notes to teach you. You have an access to the complete notes of the chapter through the link in the description box below. We will first start with the elements of weather and climate. These are temperature, atmospheric pressure, wind, humidity and precipitation. What do we understand by the term weather and climate? Weather is the atmospheric condition of a place at any given point of time, whereas climate, this is the sum total of weather conditions and variations over a large area for a long period of time. Generally, a time frame of 30 years is taken to determine the climate of a place. Let's understand this with an example. A person living in Kolkata may experience extreme humidity during the daytime, but by evening, if it rains, then he would say, today the weather is very pleasant in the evening, though it was very hot and humid during the afternoon. However, the same person, if you discuss with him the climate of Kolkata, what would he say? He would say the climate of Kolkata is hot and humid during summers and pleasant during the winters. So, weather is subject to a lot of fluctuation during the course of the day also, whereas climate is a more stable aspect. Season is when on the basis of generalized monthly atmospheric conditions, the year is divided into seasons such as winter, spring, summer, rainy season, etc. In India, we have monsoon climate, which has a unique feature of seasonal reversal of wind pattern. This impacts the climate of India not only in terms of precipitation but also temperature and also the distribution of rainfall. However, in spite of having a monsoon type of climatic condition throughout the country, there are regional variations which are found in India. In terms of, even if we take two important factors only, temperature or precipitation. In summers, the temperature in Rajasthan may touch around 50 degrees Celsius, whereas the Himalayan valleys or the hilly areas around may experience temperature very pleasant weather conditions and may have temperature ranging from 10 to 20 degrees Celsius also. Similarly, the same places in winters may touch temperature below 0 degree also in minus, Leh Ladakh area especially, and other high valleys of Himalayas, whereas the coastal areas of India or a person living in Kerala and Thiruvananthapuram may experience very warm winter with temperature ranging around 20 degree. Similarly, when we talk about the rainfall across India, areas in northeastern states, especially this area has extreme heavy rainfall. Meghalaya, especially Meghalaya, where the rainfall exceeds 400 centimeter, whereas some areas of Gujarat, Rajasthan, they have minimal of rainfall. Even the distribution of rainfall varies. Generally, the monsoon season is during the June to September across India, whereas places or those of you who live in areas of Punjab, Haryana or in Tamil Nadu, they experience rainfall even during the winter season. So we see there is a huge range of variation even in the same climatic condition which we call monsoon climate for India. Let's now do the second part of this chapter, which is the factors affecting the climate of a place. This part. Before we start this part, let's just look into the principles, the underlying principles which control the elements of the climate control. First, we will look into the relation between the temperature and pressure. Children, temperature and pressure are inversely proportional, which means higher the temperature, lower the pressure, and vice versa. Lower the temperature, higher the atmospheric pressure. Second important principle which governs the climate of a place is that atmospheric pressure difference, they give rise to winds. Whenever there is a difference between the atmospheric pressure of two places, the wind starts blowing. Third is that the land has less specific heat compared to water. This means what? It means that land takes less energy to cool or to heat up than water. Whereas also that water, once it is cool or it is warm, it will lose its energy slowly, so it will remain like that only for a longer period of time than land. So the temperature change in land is much faster, at a faster rate than in water. Let's take up another set of atmospheric conditions known as Coriolis force, intertropical convergence zone, cyclones and jet streams. Let's take up each one of these one by one and understand the concept. We will understand the concept of Coriolis force and intertropical convergence zone with the help of this picture. Coriolis force is a force which is created because of the Earth's rotation on its axis from west to east. This is responsible for deflecting the winds towards the right in the northern hemisphere and towards the left in the southern hemisphere. As you can see, the direction of trade winds in the northern hemisphere, they are deflected towards the right, and in the southern hemisphere they are deflected towards the west. Coriolis force effect is highest or strongest at the poles and it is weakest or negligible at the equator. This is also called as Ferrel's law. Now children, the region which circles the earth near the equator, where both the trade winds from the north hemisphere and the south hemisphere they come together, is known as intertropical convergence zone or ITCZ. This zone is characterized by very high atmospheric temperature, low atmospheric pressure and high humidity and thunderstorm, and this area is also known as doldrums or calms by the sailors across the world. Cyclones are windstorm with heavy rainfall and strong winds. Cyclone is a system of wind rotating inwards towards a low pressure eye at a very high speed. The swirling wind rises, cools and creates clouds and rainfall. Cyclones rotate counterclockwise in north hemisphere and they rotate clockwise direction in southern hemisphere around a low pressure center. Jet streams are very strong air currents flowing from west to east and encircling the globe at a very high altitude of approximately 8 to 15 kilometers. They are formed where large temperature differences exist in the atmosphere. They hugely impact the weather conditions of the place. The northern hemisphere and the southern hemisphere both have a polar jet stream and a subtropical jet stream. Let's now take up the six major control of the climate of a place one by one. Due to the curvature of the earth, the amount of solar energy received varies according to the latitude. The air temperature decreases from the equator towards the pole. The temperature is always highest during between the Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn because the curvature of the earth. Now, second point is altitude. Places at higher altitude have lesser temperature, thus hills are cooler than plains. The third point is the pressure and the wind system. Children, we have already studied the relation between the temperature and the atmospheric pressure. Higher the temperature, lesser the pressure, and vice versa. And the wind will always blow from a place of high atmospheric pressure to the low atmospheric pressure. Next point is the distance from the sea. Places lying at the coastal areas have more moderate climate than the places which are lying at much interior, because the sea or the water have a moderating impact on the climate of the nearby areas. This aspect of climate is wherein the interior of the landmass experiences extreme climatic condition is known as continentality. Ocean currents also influence the climatic condition of the coastal areas. Coastal areas with warm or cold current flowing past it will be impacted accordingly. Here in this map, there are the blue arrows are the cold currents and the red ones are the warm currents. Wherever the cold currents are flowing, for example the Peru current or the California current, they impact the temperature of the coastal areas by making it more moderate and cooler than other areas which are much interior of the landmass, compared to the warmer currents which raise the temperature of the coastal areas. Then the relief. High mountains also act as barriers to hot or cold winds. They cause orographic rainfall if they lie in the path of rain-bearing winds. Children, because of the position of Himalayas in the north of India, we receive good rainfall through the monsoon season. Now the third subhead of the chapter climate, factors affecting India's climate. Under this subhead, we will be studying the impact of latitudinal extent of India on its climate, varying altitude across India and their impact on the climate of India. Then the pressure and the wind system, how the pressure and the surface winds impact the climate, or the jet streams, how they impact India's climate, and the cyclonic disturbances which we experience during the winter and the summer months. Tropic of Cancer passes almost through the mid of the country, dividing it into two equal halves. The area lying to the south of Tropic of Cancer experience tropical climate, and the area falling in the north of Tropic of Cancer has subtropical climate. Now the altitude. We know India is a country with varied landforms, with the lofty Himalayan mountains at the north, then plain areas. We have coastal plains also. The Himalayas have high altitude of approximately 600 meters and above, whereas the coastal plains have very low altitude of 30 meters only. The altitude also have an impact on the climate or the temperature of a particular area. The Himalayas also prevent the dry cold wind which from entering from Central Asia direction, and as such in India we experience relatively milder winter compared to Central Asia. First subhead under the topic pressure and winds is the pressure and surface winds. Under this topic we will be studying about changing pressure pattern and resultant direction in the surface winds and how they impact the Indian climate. Children, the pressure and the wind conditions in India are unique. During winters, there is high pressure area north of Himalaya. Cold, dry winds from this area blow towards the low pressure area over the ocean towards the south. The pressure pattern and resultant wind direction totally reverses in the summers. Here, the wind will start blowing from the high pressure ocean area towards the low pressure landmass. Thus, the wind will start blowing from the South Indian Ocean in a southeastern direction, crosses the equator, deflected towards the Indian subcontinent, and they enter India from the southwest direction. And as such, they are known as southwest monsoon winds. Since they blow over the warm ocean, they gather moisture and they cause widespread rainfall over the mainland India. The impact of jet streams. During winter season, the north of India is under the influence of westerly jet streams, which is located along 27 to 30 degree north latitude. The moisture-laden winds which originate near Mediterranean move towards India and converge with this westerly jet stream and cause cyclonic disturbances and resultant rainfall in the northwestern part of India. during summer season, with the movement of sun in the northern hemisphere, the westerly jet streams move beyond Himalayas, and now the southern part of India around 14 degrees come under the influence of easterly jet streams. They cause a very low pressure area in this part of India and is an important determining factor of the monsoons in India. Cyclones in India. Areas of North India and Northwestern India, especially Punjab, Haryana and Delhi region, this area experiences rainfall during the winter season also. This is a unique feature and it happens only because of the cyclonic disturbances which impact this part of the country. The western cyclonic disturbances are caused by westerly winds which originate in the Mediterranean Sea around this area, which is a relatively high pressure area, and India that time is relatively low pressure area. Therefore, the disturbances originate from here, cross all the way, on the way they catch moisture as they pass through the Mediterranean Sea, Caspian Sea, etc. and they converge with the westerly jet streams and cause weather disturbances and cyclonic rainfall in this part of the country. Western disturbances are very useful for rabi crops because this rainfall is good for the rabi crop. Whereas during summer season, there are tropical cyclones which occur typically during the monsoon months over Bay of Bengal and the Indian Ocean. They cause very heavy high velocity winds and torrential rainfall in the coastal areas, eastern coastal area of India, and are generally quite destructive in nature. We will be studying about the Indian monsoons in detail. First, we will take up the factors which cause the monsoons and also determine the intensity of the monsoon. Children, during the summer season, with the movement of sun towards the northern hemisphere experiences summer season, whereas it is winter in the south hemisphere. The entire Southeast Asian countries, including India, becomes an area of very low pressure area and high heat area. The three important factors which make this area very low pressure area is, first, the intertropical convergence zone, which is generally situated between 5 degree north and south of equator, also moves up with the movement of the sun, and it settles somewhere around Indian subcontinent around 14 degree. Similarly, the subtropical jet stream also moves up and it settles on the Indian subcontinent. The Tibetan plateau experiences extreme heat because of the overhead sunshine, and this area becomes an area of very low pressure area. Whereas the areas in the south or over the ocean, they experience warm, relatively high pressure area, especially areas around Madagascar. This area has extreme high pressure. So there is a huge pressure difference between this part of the world and this part of the world. Therefore, the wind direction will definitely start flowing from here to here. So these winds which blow over the warm ocean water and carry moisture along the way cause monsoon rainfalls in India. Now we will discuss about the factor which impacts the intensity of monsoons in the country. Children, the intensity of monsoon is governed by a weather condition which is known as El Nino Southern Oscillation. Let us understand the phenomena of El Nino Southern Oscillation with the help of a picture. Normally, the tropical eastern South Pacific Ocean is under the influence of strong Peruvian current, which is a cold current. Therefore, this area experiences high pressure. The Southeast Indian Ocean around the coast of Australia, having warm water, is under low pressure area. The greater the difference between this high pressure and the low pressure, these 2 points, stronger will be the equatorial currents and accordingly the monsoons. However, in recent years there is a reversal in the pattern. It has been observed that every 2 to 5 years the strong Peruvian cold current is replaced with warm current. Therefore, this area becomes relatively warm and the pressure is also less. This condition, since there is an oscillation in the pressure pattern, this is known as southern oscillation. So since the pressure difference between these 2 points is reduced, therefore the current flow or the pressure in the equatorial current will also become little less, and as such the intensity of the monsoons will be reduced. So, the difference in these 2 points of Australia, one along the Pacific Ocean, which is the Tahiti along this area, and Darwin along the North Australian coast on the Indian Ocean. These 2 points, the pressure difference between these 2 points is computed to predict the intensity of the monsoons. If the pressure difference is negative, this means below average or the late monsoons. Children, we have already studied the factors which cause Indian monsoon and the factors which govern the intensity of the monsoon. Now, in the subsequent slides, we will be studying about the pattern of onset and withdrawal of the monsoon across the country, distribution of rainfall, and how we say that monsoon is a unifying factor for the people of India. Now about the onset of monsoon and the withdrawal pattern. Monsoons are not steady winds, but they are pulsating in nature. The duration of monsoon in India lasts between 100 days to 120 days, starting from early June to mid of September. The monsoon breaks in India by way of sudden heavy rainfall known as burst. This is a burst of rainfall. We will now take the help of this map to understand the pattern of onset and progression of monsoon over the mainland India. Children, we have studied that monsoons originate in ocean and the winds start blowing from the ocean towards the land. So, the monsoons enter India from the southern tip of Indian peninsula by the first week of June. Then it will branch off in Arabian Sea direction and the Bay of Bengal direction. By 10th of June, the Arabian Sea branch will reach Mumbai area, and by first week of June, this will touch the Bay of Bengal branch will also touch Assam. Now, because of the presence of lofty Himalayas towards the northern part of India, the Bay of Bengal branch is deflected towards the east, towards the Ganga plain. By mid of June, the Arabian Sea branch of monsoon reaches Saurashtra, Kutch region and the central part of India. Also, during this time, the Bay of Bengal branch, which has been deflected because of the Himalayas, it will merge with the Arabian Sea branch and cause rainfall in areas around Delhi. By mid-July, by 1st of July, the northwestern part of India, over states of Punjab, Haryana, Delhi, Western UP, etc., they will all experience monsoons. And by mid of July, the rest of India also, the extreme northwestern part of India, will also be under the impact of monsoon. This is how the monsoon will progress from the first week of June till the mid of July. Now, we will take help of another map to understand the pattern of withdrawal. Withdrawal of monsoon is a gradual process. It starts from the northwestern states first by early September, and by mid-October it totally withdraws completely from the northern half of the peninsula, and by first week of December the monsoon completely withdraws from the mainland India. So the pattern is of LIFO, last in first out. We see that the onset, when it starts, it's first in the southern India and lastly it reaches towards the northwestern part of India, but the withdrawal is first from the northwestern part of India and towards the end only it leaves the mainland India. The island groups of India are under the impact of monsoon quite for a very long time, from the first week of May till the last week of December. Again, the same pattern of LIFO is applicable in the island groups also, where the progression is from south to north during the onset and the withdrawal is first from the north towards the south. By this time, after the withdrawal of the monsoons from the mainland India, the winter monsoons also starts setting in. The winter monsoons, which we have already studied, are caused because of the westerly disturbances and cyclonic disturbances and cause rainfall over northwestern part of India. Children, now let's take the help of this map to understand the distribution of rainfall across India. In India, there are three distinct rainfall regions. One is heavy rainfall area, which is which receive rainfall above 400 centimeter annually. Then moderate rainfall area, which receive rainfall up to 100 centimeters. And then less rainfall area, which receive rainfall less than 60 centimeter a year. The heavy rainfall areas are the windward side of the Western Ghats, where the moisture-laden winds entering India from the Arabian Sea coast, Arabian Sea area, cause heavy rainfall they merge with the Western Ghats and cause heavy rainfall on the windward side. The other most important heavy rainfall area are the states of northeastern India, mainly Meghalaya, which is known for very heavy rainfall, and Arunachal Pradesh and Assam. The less rainfall areas are the arid states of India, namely Gujarat, Rajasthan, Punjab, Haryana, Western UP, Delhi areas, and the leeward side of Sahyadris or Western Ghats, because the moisture-laden wind, they cause rainfall on the coastal areas also only, and the leeward side remains dry. So interiors of Deccan falling on the leeward side of Sahyadris is also a less rainfall area. Third, very less precipitation area, receiving less than 60 centimeter of annual rainfall is around Leh in Jammu and Kashmir. Children, Indian monsoon is characterized by variability in its nature. The monsoons are pulsating winds and they cause variable rainfall, and this variability is maximum in areas receiving less rainfall. Areas of high rainfall, they experience flood on an annual basis, whereas the variability or drought situation is higher in the less rainfall areas. With this, we conclude the chapter by analyzing the unifying influence of the Indian monsoons on the Indian subcontinent. India is a large country with varying weather conditions. However, monsoon still acts as a unifying agent. By way of its seasonal alteration of the wind system and associated weather conditions, monsoon provide a rhythmic cycle of seasons across the country. Agriculture is the most important economic activity of India. Dependence of agriculture sector on the monsoon is also well known to all of us. Apart from this, the Indian landscape, festivals, flora, fauna, etc., they all depend heavily on Indian monsoons. Thank you children for watching the video. Hope you enjoyed learning. If you like the video, please do like and subscribe to my channel and also share with your friends. Feel free to share your comments and feedback in the comment section below. And yes, do not forget to access the notes of the chapter from the description box below. I shall be back again very soon with the next chapter of class 9. Happy learning!